Welcome to the original Next Level Gaming.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? It is Tuesday night. Welcome to the original Next Level Gaming and the NLG show. And look, the two guys in the middle are wearing the NLG shirts. That is awesome. The two guys on the outside are wearing the DJC Game Studio
That's right.
shirts.
Got it.
Nice. We coordinated this before. That's, how we do. So, how is everybody doing this fine Tuesday of nothing going on in the gaming universe?
Yeah, just nothing. No news.
No news. Nothing at all. How's everybody doing? Rich,
Hanging in.
it's good to see
Yeah,
you.
thanks, man. Thanks for the invite. It's been a while. It's very.
It
good to see
has
you guys.
been. We have not had you on in a good bit. And Chuck,
Is there an echo?
my man,
I hear echoing.
I do not hear an echo,
Okay, maybe it's just me.
but I also don't hear Peter.
Hello? Oh, he's
I heard.
muted.
The Peter's muted.
Yes.
See, that's why you didn't get an
Ah.
echo from me.
You know what it might be, Chuck, because you don't have headphones on, and the rest of us do. Could be a speaker thing.
Normally I never. Let me try.
Oh. Well, while he's doing that, what's up, everybody in the chat? Looking good tonight. Doggy Dog was the first one in.
Yeah, and he's
tonight,
coming for
right
20
right
months.
behind
He
Rich.
says, "Television
I
Amigo,
know.
baby."
Yeah. Oh, I know he's been waiting for this too. He's been excited for the Amico for a while, and we have news tonight. News we got to talk about, and maybe a little bit more. So how's the echoing now, Chuck?
I still hear it.
There's a little echo on that.
just a little on his end, yeah.
But anyways,
his end?
while we have the echo, it's a perfect time for me to. I'm gonna do this debut of a new product that I am thinking of launching for the Amico. You hear it here first on the original Next Level Gaming. You don't want to. You always drop your controllers, right? And sometimes the lanyard is just not enough, on these Amico controllers. So what I've created is the wristband Amico holders.
Hold on. Wait.
and
Hold on. Wait, we got it. This is fantastic. Hang on a second.
So you're.
Wait.
That's not me.
Hold on. I'm getting there. Hang on.
This is Mike's first stream.
Hang on. Yes.
Real DJC, please stand up.
So there it is. Yes. So what they do is these wristbands go around your Amico controller, freeing your lanyard to just hang and dangle as it was intended. These are going to be available nowhere very soon.
Nice.
So just wanted to debut that today.
That is a good time.
Yeah,
That was
And
outstanding.
if you order it in the next 10 minutes,
it's true.
You still won't
not
get
only getting the left one, but you also get the right one.
Yeah, you'll also get the right one
it.
without any controllers.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
There we go. Sorry.
I'll crack a beer to that.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Jacob Livingston says it's like an Amico smartwatch trademark.
Nice.
Oh, welcome, doggy. Welcome. John Alvarado is in the chat tonight.
John.
Hello.
I need to get on that chat here.
A little important stuff for him too. Brother Driz, happy birthday, Brother Driz. I am sorry we did not get to do your birthday Fall Guy stream. The truth of the matter is, we ended up car shopping on Saturday. My oldest unfortunately wrecked my van, and we had to go car shopping. So that was my weekend. So I do apologize, but hey, man, I hope you have a great and graduating 8th grade tomorrow. That can't be you. I'm pretty sure you're older than that. But happy birthday. Brother Back's in the house. General Spartan, Brother General Spartan is back for the live show. What's going on? Vic the Click is here. Brother Vic is in the house. 68 Camaro. It's been a while. What's up, everybody? He says. Jacob Livingston. That was a great comment. Sean, Brother Sean's here. I know Sean's ready for the news. Brother Hasslehoff is here. They all come a running when you hear Amico. So
they're coming for these
Peter, how you
wristband
doing?
controller holders.
They're coming for the wristband. I'm telling you.
That's what you're going to want to have. You want to have it. Get them now.
I gotta get in line.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big line.
So, yeah. Peter, how you doing?
Doing great. Great.
Awesome. So, everybody had a good weekend?
Yeah. It's definitely good.
Outstanding.
I've been working on a
Outstanding.
decking and roofing all weekend, so I did not have a great weekend.
Oh.
But I mean, things are looking good. But
Yeah,
I'm not
good.
feeling. I'm not
So
feeling.
that's good. That's good. Oh. But at least, you can step out on the deck and not fall through it and fall and plunge to your
That is
death.
True.
I mean, it's important.
Okay. You take those wins as you can get them. So, hey, what's up, Vinny? Vinny Naziro's in the house. What's going on? All right. So usually we do this whole welcome gamers thing. Thankfully, we know both of your stories, so we don't have to go through all that. And Rich, I know you're on a timer at a hard stop at 10, so I want to get right into things.
Let's do it.
So you have an opportunity to talk. And while we're doing that, Peter set this up. I forgot to do this before we started. I'm actually going to turn the Amico on because I'm not going to show any live that but there's some context that I wanted to show to the Shark video that we showed, that we debuted last night. So Peter, set the stage here for me.
All right. Our next topic is Television Amico update and gameplay. There's your echo, DJ.
Nice.
Very cool.
It was a cool little.
What happened to Myke?
He's coming back.
Oh,
We
he's
had to
coming
change
back.
his shirt. This is a different.
Yeah, right.
Now the front is the back and the back is the front. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's how you show stuff off. Left the scene again. I think he's being charged by that shark.
I want to ask the chair some questions while he's gone.
Yeah. See that's what we need, the hard hitting questions for the chair.
Yeah. I want to know what's really going on at the original Next Level Gaming. I think the gaming chair knows all. I think it knows all.
There are some stories to
I
tell.
think it can
sure.
go up and down. So spin around.
It's seen many an Xbox.
Yes. For sure. For sure.
All right. Well, that is tempting.
Did you feed the fish, Mike?
Yes.
With
Very
fish.
cute. All right, so let's get to the. I'm not
We already
complaining about
changed to the
Peter, but
next
John
topic, but
Alvarado
my
should be
finger
doing
is
it.
not along.
Oh, we
Push that
have.
button.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
We're already on. Okay, so last night, two things happened. Number one, Phil Adam. I almost said Phil Spencer. Peter.
Really?
It's the wrong Phil.
Really? You talked to Phil Spencer and didn't even add me to that call.
Yeah.
The chair is getting a lot of screen time.
All right.
All right.
Last night, Phil Adam put out an update through the email mailing list, and I know this is going to be up on their website. I know Rich, you put this up on the Facebook page, and we're going to get right to it because I also have some other things to. Well, let me put it this way: we're going to show a couple other things tonight.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Just
besides the chair.
snippets.
Yeah. I got.
Yeah.
Just right, just besides the chair.
I mean, I kind of
Just some
like
snippets
the chair,
of some-
but if you have to show other things, then
It is it.
then go right
It
ahead.
is.
Maybe they come in different colors.
Can't lie.
Is there different colors?
No.
Is there lumbar
Yeah.
support with that chair?
Right. Brother 108 Dragons is in the house. All right, let me get this. So we're going to show a couple of other games tonight because, as you guys know, Chuck and I have been pilot testing and play testing actual hardware. We have the finished Amicos. We all know what the story is, right? They need money, right? They need money to get to production, and right now, that's the struggle. In the meantime, Chuck and I are still play testing. My kids are helping me with play testing. Everybody is, we're helping John. And John, thank you so much for that really kind comment you left on the video today. I did show that to Spencer. It makes him feel really good that, he has helped to mold stuff going on. So, sorry, I trying to find a good way to bring this up without. Okay, so I'm just gonna. This is just from my email. Not that anybody can see anything. So, and Jacob, I'll answer that as best I can once we get through. So, Retro Renegades, what's going on? Brother Jay's in the house.
Nice.
All right. So here it is. The last 18 months since becoming the CEO has been an extremely difficult time for the Intellivision business. A long list of disappointments from both inside and outside the company had to be taken head on. We know this is true, right? While COVID is not the complete, you can only take COVID so far as, and I'm using the word excuse very roughly. I'm not suggesting anything otherwise, but the fact of the matter is, COVID did have an effect on Intellivision, just like it had an effect on a ton of companies. Peter and I both know how hard it was to get an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5. So, there are those issues. That said, the reason that, of course, Phil says from both inside and outside is that only takes you so far. And look, let's be candid. We can be honest. Not everything was run exactly the way it should have been at Intellivision, right? And especially with COVID's, look, they were a company in California of all places navigating COVID. They should have done things differently that may have helped them monetarily. They didn't. And that's just the way it is. So I'm always about, and this is what I will say, this is what I appreciate about this update. At my full-time job, we have a philosophy. Get off the island first. Then you can go back and figure out how you got on the island. Get off the island. That's what part of this is. So he said, during this time, we laid off a large portion of our staff, restructured our management team, and began the process of reevaluating every aspect of the business, which included the path that lay ahead for Intellivision. Want One sec, I'm sorry. Okay. What we've distilled down from countless hours of self-assessment is that we are, or more accurately wish to be, in the business of creating a living room experience that brings people of various ages together in group play. It is the experience between people sitting in the same room that will be our primary measure of success. This, first and foremost, comes from offering great content. I don't think that they've ever wavered on this. Forgive me if I'm wrong, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but there are two aspects to the Intellivision Amico that I always thought were kind of the cornerstones. The controller, right? The controller, the nice controller, and the games, the family-friendly games. Chuck, Astro Smash, right?
Oh my God.
You know,
yeah,
being able to
I have some video on that hope to show soon. Yeah, that is one of my favorites, and I don't know, and even playing that like with this type of controller is cool. And I know we haven't got to that part in there where they're talking about changing stuff and putting stuff out on different platforms, putting stuff out on mobile, doing you know, I just want somehow this controller like included. So that's what to me, like, I mean, anybody could stare at a box. I mean, do you stare at your PlayStation or stare at your Xbox? No, you look at your controller.
Yes, I am right now.
And you look at your screen. I have a PlayStation controller right here. I tried using it on a PS5. It wouldn't work. It was weird. Has this weird plug too. Look at that.
You're supposed to
No,
stick it off. It's wireless.
But when it comes to this, I think, like, does it matter what the console is? You know, can we just have this experience, multiplayer in the same room? You know, or on your smart device, you know, or on your phone. You know, as long as you're interacting with a TV screen with a bunch of people, I don't really think if that helps bring in a revenue or helps eventually get this founders unit to come out, then I'm all about it. I'm not. Now, is this what you want to hear coming from the, you know, like this announcement, like we were talking about earlier? Like, no, of course you want it to be like, hey, we're shipping, you know, but it's not, unfortunately.
Right.
But it's not the worst news. I look at this as and this is Phil's email. You know, I look at this as a guy that came in here, had to clean up a lot of stuff, kept it going, and made sure this company stayed alive and it is still going and trying their best to continue going forward. It's almost like a reset of Intellivision from like they were even saying, like 2018. That's all. It ain't like that. A lot of stuff happened since 2018. Obviously, like you were just discussing with the pandemic and everything else. Chip shortages, money situations, prices going up, not being able to get stuff from shipping. So like there's a lot of stuff at play here. And the fact that he kept this, when he jumped in and was like, oh my God, I got to keep this company alive. I have to make decisions that might not be popular, but I need to make sure this company comes out. And I already know the guy has the passion and wants this system out. So, you know, if they got to go all their multi-platform, if they're going to, a certain games are going to be, you know, licensed out to different, like that's cool, you know, like why not? Right. So anyways, that's kind of what I have on that.
Yeah, when I heard this,
No, I
when I heard this
agree.
news, it's like hugely disappointing. I was hugely disappointed, and it's like I felt like it's a dog with severe arthritis, and you try to keep it alive, and it's like, you know, when it's time to help it over the rainbow bridge, you know, it's like I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's look, that is not a fully unfair statement. I mean, I think where Chuck and I are, though, is because we're helping them, right? And now we're able to show things.
Yeah.
Right? We're able to,
Yeah, but
to
then it's
talk
like
about things.
coming back to Phil Spencer's thing. It's like if it's not in the hand, then what good is it? You know?
Right. The problem is it's in my hand.
Yeah, it's in your hand.
I'm,
Not mine.
I'm going off of my experience, and that's where my, you know, And so to that end, I'm just going to kind of summarize where they are. You know, because again, I know, Rich, we got to get you in
Yeah,
here.
he's got what, less than 10 minutes, right? Yeah.
Less than 10
we
minutes.
Can go a little,
so
we can go a little over,
going,
but yeah, we're good.
Yeah, not too much. Licensing their IP to development partners, and you know, there's been word about that going around, and
Well, last email
mentioned
talked about that license deal. So
yeah, so you know, leveraging our IPs in ways that ensures delivery on Amico, but additionally expands our content to new audiences and television would otherwise be able to reach. And that could be, let's be honest, that could be throwing Astro Smash on the Xbox, on the PlayStation, on the Switch, on right.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, can we use that controller with it?
Go ahead.
Now, that would be.
You cannot.
See, if you could do that,
Not.
and it's like, you know, it doesn't matter what the actual device is.
Yeah, I mean,
So DJC said, like, you know, you're not looking at
For the most
device
part,
while you're playing.
Mhm.
Right.
You know,
Right. And look, there, and then we're going to talk about that in a minute, because there is a piece of this that is part of this update. You know, and look, it's going around that you know, Astro Smash and Shark belong, you know, were part of that deal. That doesn't mean that those games aren't coming to the Amico.
Right.
right.
Intellivision has. So what I do know, and I'm just gonna say this out loud. I know there's other videos out there. That's not what we do, because there's a reason that we have the trust of the people we do. There's a reason I have the trust of many people in the industry, not just in television, because I don't go blabbing every little thing that I find out. I can tell you that these games are still coming to the Amico. They're still licensed to the Amico. They are, and Intellivision gets the rights to sequels and future consoles and pieces that they're doing. So it gets a little, you know, I guess it depends on what the information is you're trying to disseminate. But none of this means that this stuff's not coming to the Amico. And then the third part is acquiring new IP that embodies Amico and fits the strategic focus. They're still going to work on getting games to the system. That is, I think that's an important thing. So then we get to, right, so what you said, Chuck, their business plan is different than it was in 2018. It can't be dependent on a traditional hardware console business model. But I want to focus in on this because I don't think anybody's reading this. I don't think anybody's reading this. It's like everybody I have seen that has done something. Oh, they're going mobile. That's it. The console's dead.
No, they still want the console. It's
you know,
but
right.
This brings the company life and revenue when you can do stuff like this. So it just makes your
right. And by the way,
just
come
to be faster. That's the whole plan, right?
Right. To be 100% clear, Peter, I wasn't talking about you.
Oh,
I was
no,
talking about.
no,
I'm talking about other things. Yeah.
I didn't get the feeling you were talking.
No, not at all. We want to assure our fans that
I felt
shipping
like
a
kicking under the
console
table,
remains
though,
a part.
It's okay.
No. You know what? No. Trust me, Phil and John are also big boys. I think I will tell you that not being truthful and objective does them no good. It does us no good, and I Phil would not want that from us, and neither would John Alvarado. And John's in the chat, right? But that's so. Anyway, we want to assure our fans that shipping a console remains a part of our product strategy.
Yes.
The development and hands-on testing of our pilot units, Chuck and me, have been a successful step forward, and then they were kind enough to include the Shark video that Spencer and I played. But as part of the expanded strategy, they are going to bring the experience to other platforms, starting with mobile devices under the name Amico Home. Dramatically reduces the hardware footprint needed to enjoy Amico games and provide developers more opportunity, which I think is a good thing, providing more developers opportunity to explore the potential of multiplayer games. with our innovative physical and smartphone controllers. I think the thing that people, again, didn't read in this is I got a couple of comments, oh, they're just going mobile. They're just making mobile games. These aren't going to be mobile versions of the Amico games. This is going to be this is going to be an app on a phone that you can then plug into your TV, and then you use the controllers to connect to the Amico app and play the actual Amico game.
So you're talking about you could still use your controller.
Correct, because these are Bluetooth.
That goes back to the whole thing. Is like, does it matter? You're not looking at a console now. Trust me, not saying that I don't want my Founders. I definitely want my wood grain Founders, but I get it. Like if that helps get stuff out a little sooner and brings in a little, helps that Founders, then yeah.
So how will we get those controllers then? Or would it be like they ship you the controllers first? And then the console later.
They're going to have to, and I don't have any insight on this. So what I'm saying is purely my own conjecture. They're going to have to make controllers. Yeah. You're going to have to be able to buy the controllers.
Sure.
But don't forget,
I bought them with my wood grain.
With your yes, those would work.
No, but I mean,
those
would they ship those
work
first? And then you might get the console late.
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. But don't forget the other piece to this is, as it pops up, is the mobile controller. So,
but that's a virtual spinning disc. I need to feel the real deal.
Oh, I hear you. Although I will say, I gotta say, Missile Command with this is sublime. But the point being is that there are alternatives while you're waiting on getting controllers.
Yeah.
But it's not they're not mobile versions of the game. That's the thing.
Right.
So those who have maintained a deposit will be able to sign and verify their spot on the list to get early access to this. So
hey, we're at 10 o'clock. I kind of want to hear what Rich has to say, because I know he does have to get going.
Do too.
So I want to hear his take on this everything.
Yeah, I mean, I've read through the email, obviously, and we've gotten that hat tip also, by the way, to DJC for coming in on the clutch on that.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. So
indeed.
So yeah. So here's my take is this. It was a bummer to have the update, be, hey, we're not already in production. Here's your Founders. It's awesome, right? But at the same point, I try to be as much of a realist in these kind of situations as possible, and without any other rumblings that were going on in the background. Nothing else. We were hearing anything from Intellivision officially. There was no other announcements. None of that kind of stuff. It kind of just led to, well, I mean, this update probably wasn't going to ever be, here are your consoles, right? Unless something crazy happened. But I mean, right. you would have felt that in the air, right? You would have felt that energy. Like something would have happened, right? That would have indicated that. So
yeah.
So here we are. We got the update, and this is what it is, right?
Right.
In reality, now I'm looking at it. And I'm like, okay. Well, for me, a little bit of, I guess like pre-order disclosure or whatever. I have way too many pre-orders for this thing. I'm just gonna say that right now. I got way too many. Okay, I'm sitting on not one or two, but 3 Founders for various reasons and peoples. 2 VIPs.
Oh wow.
And like, even though they canceled them, got back in touch with Intellivision to get back on the list for 2 Galaxy Purples.
Right.
So I'm all in for, like, what is that, 7 systems or something like that? Like, it's ridiculous, right? Because I mean, that's just me. I'm ridiculous sometimes. And I've got a whole bunch of boxes that are staring me in the face with games, the game boxes and all that kind of stuff. I got all those too, in at least doubles, and some of them are actually more. But besides the point, I'm invested, like, in that sense in this thing, right? I want to see it come out. I want to see it be played. I want to give it to my family members. I want to, they just have this big, thing, right? If we've got to wait for all that stuff to happen some more, I mean, in my opinion, so be it. Here's another part of disclosure for me, that it's like, hey, do I do silly things that involve video games and then I have to wait years and years and years? Yeah. I'm still waiting for a Polymega.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about the Polymega.
Yeah, I've been waiting for, was it now 2 years? 3 years? Something like that? Like, because I had original pre-order at Walmart.
3 years, yeah.
I had an original pre-order with Walmart. They canceled it because of whatever was happening, like war or whatever it was. Then I told my wife about it, and then for my Christmas and birthday present combined, because my birthday's in October and Christmas is December, they pre-ordered me another one direct from Play Magi. And all right, then what? Then you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. Am I going to give that one up? No, of course not. I still want my thing. So as far as patience goes, I guess, I mean, I've got that in spades, and a lot of people don't, and I understand that. A lot of people get angry, and I understand that too. Like I am in the Facebook group, I hear and see a lot of things that people say, and that's okay. That's fine. Some people get a little out of hand, and well, that's a thing that we have to take care of, but that's fine too. But in the end, for me, it's about two things: the games and my kids, because that's what really hooked me in on this thing. The idea of Amico hooked me in early enough where the first time that when I saw this thing, this wasn't a thing that I was interested in so much. They started announcing all those retro games coming out. It was like, oh, we're gonna grab Bump Jump and Burger Time and all this other stuff, and it was like, okay, all right, well, now you got me. It's fine. Yeah. And you're gonna, now you dropped Cloudy Mountain on me. Okay, I'm in. That's fine. But when I first saw this thing, I was like, man, this thing is really cool. And you know what I could do is just get one and just drop it in the living room and then let the kids play, and I don't have to worry. Whatever's on this thing is gonna be fine. That the whole E10 Plus, I was in, done. It's not a problem. But does Douglas, my son, does he, or Henry, my other son, do they need the box in order to play the games right now? No. So if there's another way with this Amico home thing that allows me to let them play with either my phones or, that'd be a great idea if we can get our hands on these controllers sooner. Excellent. I'd buy more. I'd buy controllers. Like I said, I'm already in on all these other consoles.
Right.
I'm buying controllers. They announced that thing, boom, done. That's it. Not a problem. But if I could use those controllers with maybe something else, another piece of hardware, I don't know how that works. If you have to download an app on a computer and do Bluetooth, are we using, an Apple TV or a phone or a tablet as the console? I don't know how that stuff works.
Right, but if it works where you can use these, you're just buying these. This is the experience right here. This is the TV, right?
Sure, let's go. Because then you can start developing the experience and you start spreading the experience, right? If you play these games in local co-op and people get interested in it, then that's cool. And then maybe, what happens is, what we all hope is fans, right? Yeah. The company is solvent. They get the money, and then they make the thing that you actually ordered. Yes, thank you.
The founders.
Yeah, like we get those consoles out, and then maybe it snowballs, and then you just keep making consoles because people want it. The demand is there. Okay, fine, great. If it's not there, I mean, hey, I'm all for anyone that's a founder or VIP. That people that put down their money, I think they get. In the end, I don't care how they have to do it. If they're gonna put some consoles out, they need to get everyone out, right? They need to do that,
Right.
You know, because that's a fulfillment of a promise, right? You know, and that's how I see that.
Yeah.
You know, and that would be for any company,
Look,
including PlayMagi, right?
Well,
you know, until the day that PlayMagi
Right.
tells me, oh, by the way, you know, hey, we got your family's money basically, and you're not getting your stuff. That's when I start getting angry with PlayMagi, right?
Yeah.
Or any company, right? So it's, you know, that's where I'm at with all this. I mean, I understand there's a lot of people that look at this and they throw it out and they're whatever. Okay, well, if you're not interested, that's fine. You know, it's all good, right? You know, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, you look up there, right? You know, and you see Myke with his son. And they're playing Shark, right? That's what I want. That's what I want. You know,
and that's what's frustrating to me too. And I'm not frustrated. There's part of me that's frustrated kind of with how things have shaken out, because we do know that, you know, prior to Phil taking over, the mistakes have been made. I mean, right? That again, I'm not. It does nobody any good to, but I'm about getting off the island.
Right.
The issue. I'm frustrated for them and with them at the same time, and more frustrated for them because I'm in this position, right? I want people to experience what Spencer and I right now are experiencing. I want to show you something else. I've been told I can, because I want to show this before you leave.
Is this the thing that may or may not rhyme with the word farts?
Not yet. Not yet. Because we're still talking about family. This is the thing that might rhymes with wormhole.
That was a terrible rhyme.
Yeah.
That was.
Wormhole.
That was. So this is I'm giving a sneak peek into a video that we'll be
Exclusive.
putting out hopefully soon. My two kids did not want me playing with them because they wanted to take each other out. And here's, by the way, Seth looks a little different than he did 2 years ago to
That guy
Fest.
sprouted.
That boy sprouted. He sprouted 6 inches. And shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. We're not trying to specifically advertise, but that was the shirt Spencer was wearing. But these guys were, and they were trash talking each other. Like, they were absolutely trash talking each other. And I'm trying to keep myself together because I'm running the camera for them. And I am trying to hold it in. But this is the stuff that they come downstairs and they're like, Dad, can we go down and play cornhole?
Yeah.
They don't ask. I don't ask them. They come down and they want to do this. And it's so easy for them to do this. And what frustrates me is that they're in this position. And Rich, I want your kids to be able to have this experience. Yeah. Peter, I want you and Haley to have this experience. You guys out in the chat, and I know, and again, people that are listening to this show now who are not in the chat, I know some of you are frustrated, and I get it. I want to make sure everybody understands. I get it. This was not the update that I wanted either. I wanted to hear, that they're going into production.
Right.
Problem is that we live in a world where, I'm just putting it out there, Rich, you're very close to the Atari VCS. You know what happened to them.
Yeah.
They're basically a content company now.
Right. Yep. Well,
For all intents and purposes, they're not.
There's no question that they did a full pivot.
Yeah. I know they made this thing. Well, we're gonna go look for someone else to make the VCS. No, they're not. Let's be honest. No, they're not.
Looking is
Why?
one thing.
Why make it?
They can look all they want.
Right.
Or
the
spending all hard.
The only thing that changes that equation, though, are the people that are in the community, right? So people like myself and like my buddy BCB and a whole bunch of other people that are like really putting the work in on this thing and checking out all these games. And the cool thing is, yeah, they're not producing the hardware right now, but people
And again,
they're putting
I
out
just
the
wanna
games.
back up a second.
Right? They're actually putting
Yeah.
out the games, and I'm like,
Watch.
sweet.
Look at that smile.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean the Polymega you just brought up. It's been how many years, and they can't get it produced.
Right.
So you're sitting there waiting for it.
Yep.
Have you guys seen a play date lately?
Yeah.
I don't think they can get those. I don't think they can get those out the
Yeah,
door.
they're still on the waiting list.
The Analog Duo just raised their prices $50 to $249. You know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do this.
We are in a difficult position. But what I will say is, and I'll address, because a lot of people, I have had comments like Jacob's that, you know, he got his refund, and that's fine. If you needed it, great. All I can say is what I know, and that is Chuck and I are still testing the system out with an actual console. You see those controllers, that's not hooked up to anything else. It's hooked up to an Amico console that is finished hardware. Chuck, have you gotten any word from Phil Adam, John Alvarado, or anybody in Intellivision that contradicts the email they sent yesterday that said that they're not shipping, they're not looking to, and I'm not going to say they're shipping it because right now we know they're not. Has anything been said to you that they are going to shift into strictly content or this Amico home?
No.
And they're not going to make the console?
No. I think what they're trying to do is make sure this company survives, which is kind of what
right.
When Phil took over has been doing these past like year and a half, 2 year almost. I think that's basically the reset of this company. And now, what do we need to bring some revenue in? What do we need to do? Let's focus on the games and the IPs we have. And like Jacob was saying, hey, he's hoping for software. So yeah, so now we may get we're gonna get, and I think that's cool. So now you'll be able to experience some of these games on other consoles too, which will help, which will also fund our eventually our what they want to get out in the main thing, which is the Founders.
Right.
So anything that's going to help that, you know, this is a company that struggled through a lot, you know, and that's why I hate when people and look, I hate, I'm not going to get into like drama stuff or anything like that, but that's why I hate people keep calling like it was all scam artists. I'm like, dude, if this was really a scam, you think these people would not still be at this and still trying to get this out some way or another? And they're trying to, you know, with this Amico, and I know I don't know if you got down to that part. Did you mention that in the email? I mean, we'll be talking about it anyways, but the list and anyone that maintained a deposit this whole time, you got access to some extra stuff, you know. I mean, let's talk about the games everybody has on the shelf, you know. Let's talk about, you know, maybe extra games or extra incentives or extras, you know, whatever. So I think that's kind of cool that they're remembering the people that stuck with them. And some people, like I said, will be frustrated, like you're saying. But like if you could do some software and play some software or play Amico Home or play Amico with the controllers with like a mobile or a TV, that's cool too. Eventually the console is coming, and that's the whole reason for this. Keep this company going, keep it healthy, reevaluate. This is a whole kind of reset on it. But it's saying we're not dead and we're not going away because these guys still have the passion to get this out. And that's what I see. And if other people are just mad, that's fine. I mean, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
And by the way,
it is frustrating though. Don't tell me. It is frustrating. I want everyone to have one of these, you know. I really do. That's the frustrating part, is that it's ready to go and it's just, you know, so that's the frustrating part.
And you know, look, could you play Shark on an Xbox? Sure. Can you play it? Let me where's my camera? Hold on.
Well, you're looking for it. Sir X-Man is a member for 4 months, and he says a new Star Trek game out getting tonight after work.
Nice. For what system though?
Where am I? So
nice.
To give you some context into what we were doing with the controllers while we were playing, you don't get this. You don't get this on an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. You don't get to actually, pick the fish you want. And you know what? To us, maybe this is, well, I could just do it on the screen. Sure, you could. But to a kid, being able to do this and choose the color you want, and by the way, the disc changes the color of the fish and all that stuff, and then on the screen is, as a game comes up,
That didn't sound like a fish to me.
That sounded like a motorcycle.
No, that did not.
What's going on?
You get your score and how many lives you are. I mean, there's tangible things. And again, I will say in Missile Command,
it's a tang.
And yes, and in Missile Command, this is actually used for moving the reticle, and which is far and away. I'm just going to tell you right now.
That, by the way, I really enjoyed Missile Command.
The Amico version of Missile Command. You know what? John said I could. Give me 1 second.
This Mike's just violating
Nope, I got John. So if Phil is listening, John said I could. But there's a reason for this. Hold on.
There he is.
There it is. Yeah.
Yes, he did. So I'm blaming John. And let me tell you, this man does a lot of work that you guys just don't know. That's not the one I want. The one I want is, give me a second. Somehow
it's the no DA.
How
the no DA.
the no DA. Somewhere along the line, Rich is getting severely yelled at right
Wait,
now.
why does John not have a wrench? Is that really him?
Because I don't, you know what? I don't have him modded.
Oh, okay. That's how I always did that, so I could tell that it was really him.
All right, hang on. I have to be careful what I show here. Okay, so I want you to focus on the upper right corner. Now, what I did was I played this on the mobile controller. And the way this works is the touchpad is your reticle. So instead of using an analog stick to try to move the reticle around, you use the touchpad.
Right.
The disc fires your missiles from either the left, the front, the right, or a slow shot, just like the arcade. So I want you to watch, because what I did in this video, and this video may not come out right away because there's other stuff on here that's not cleared yet. You see the little dot moving on the touch screen? That's me moving my thumb across to get from one place to another. This, I'm telling you, this is far and away better than the Atari recharged version of Missile Command.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It just is. And it's multiplayer in a way that the
multiplayer gets crazy too. It gets really crazy.
That's cool.
All right, hey Jacob, listen, my man. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure why you're here. If you're not into the information we're giving, but there are half the people. Most of the people in my chat have not seen this. So if you are looking for other information, I might suggest another show for you tonight. All right. So getting back to this, my point is that yes, could they port? They wouldn't port this because there is a recharged Missile Command.
Sure.
The reason that I want people to experience the console, or at least some form of it, is because the controller is the game changer here.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why I'm not giving up on the hardware. I'm just not. I'm not giving up on this thing coming out until somebody tells me, Myke, we can't do this anymore. send back your pilot unit.
Right.
We're shutting it down. There's no reason to even want them to
Maybe
shut
at
it
that point
down.
they don't have
Go ahead, Peter.
an address, a mailbox anymore. Return to sender.
That could be. So I will remind people that is my debug Xbox 360. Microsoft never asked for back.
Mike's right. I'll put
However,
it back there.
right. No one has to know, Phil. No one has to know that I have. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, I want the console to come out. They want the console to come out. There's nobody at Intellivision that I am aware of that doesn't want the console to come out.
Mm-hmm.
There is just the reality of where they are right now. I would love to see. I'd love to see just them say tomorrow we got an investor and they're gonna make the initial run. Get the founders out. Personally, if they're gonna go down, I want to see them go down swinging with stuff in the wild. No. Let the market actually dictate whether or not this thing belongs in the market. Yeah. Because me saying it belongs in the market is one thing. And again...
Yeah, I'd like to see it come to market.
I can only...
that way people can have their own opinions, finally. Get their hands on it. Actually go, okay, this isn't for me, or this is what I thought, or hey, wow, this is actually kind of neat, like, wow, like this has a place,
Yeah.
Do you think ABK, don't mind if, a couple of millions will go towards this Amigo production? I mean, are they really counting every penny?
There you go. I mean,
it's not a direct competitor, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Nah.
I don't think that, there's.
What's the difficulty right now? The monies or still getting the parts?
It's the money.
Okay.
They've got. I think at this point the parts are not as much of an issue as just getting the funding to get it on the line and get it out the door, and to get it in mass. Not just to build 10 of them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They have to at least. I mean, the Founders Edition was 2,600, and the VIPs were a few more. I couldn't tell you numbers on that, but we know the Founders was 2,600 because that's what they advertised at the beginning. That's how many Founders they sold.
Yeah.
They've got to get to Rich's point. They can't just make half those.
Right. No.
Half the Founders?
They have to make them all.
Or just Founders only?
Yeah, they have to make all the Founders. They have to make they got to make the Founders, even if that's as far as they can get for now, because that gets them revenue. Because don't forget, and I think we forget this too. We've only put down $100 for the system. They still have the rest of our money to collect. That's revenue.
Right.
Yeah.
That's income.
Right.
And so. Whatever it costs to build a system, there is some of that that's going to come to them when we get charged for, the second thing. So Relic said, did we hear? Yes, we talked about it earlier. Hey, Chrono Prime, long time no see. See, Amico gets people that we haven't seen in forever who don't talk about Xbox and PlayStation and Switch and other stuff to come over. He says, kind of silly, 2-pack-in games will now be available on other consoles. Not necessarily. So, number one, you're going to have to buy those on other consoles, which also means you're going to have those consoles. And if you look, if you have those other and plus, as we were just talking about, you're not going to have this. Right. You're going to have to play them with an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. There will be trade-offs. What those trade-offs are, I don't know. There will be trade-offs. But they're not, to me, and push back on me if you think this is wrong-headed, but you're putting these in with the Amico. When you buy the Amico, you're getting these plus 4 other games. Yeah. Why not make a few extra bucks selling it to the people who aren't going to buy an Amico, but may want to play Astro Smash?
Or people that would just buy them anyway. They're getting the console.
Or people that doubled. or people that double dip. How about, believe me, you know, DJC, I know you're not much of a modern gamer guy, but Peter, how many people double dip PlayStation and Xbox games just to have both versions?
There are some people that do that. Yes.
And
And also, like, they want the PlayStation version in addition to, because they have the special Rumble, whatever you call it, on the new PlayStation 5
Oh,
controller.
the dual set.
I just bought the
Right.
Intellivision coupler, which is obviously
Yeah.
very modern, Myke. It couples both, so I can run and gun on games like Night Stalker and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons from 1979.
At the
This
same
is absolutely
same
modern
time.
tech right here,
right?
coupling two controllers together.
Well, yeah. Well, I was just saying, you know,
Oh,
hey,
my goodness.
there's a copy of a modern game sitting right here. That was for PlayStation 4
Oh yeah.
that I bought for
Oh,
PlayStation
yeah.
3 and PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Just
Yeah.
saying.
So, and I'll give you one more because I'm allowed to do one more,
Ooh.
and I got to get this before Rich
Yeah,
leaves.
you get this, and then yeah, they're gonna.
I
It
know.
is- it's
I know.
like-
We're
it's
holding you
poking fun.
hostage. It is. So sure. Could you? And here's a sneak peek of another video.
Oh man,
Again, sneak peek. Dart Frenzy. Could I? Could you play this on an Xbox with an Xbox controller? Not really.
no.
Not really. I mean, this is basically. And
But
I gotta
could you
say
do this
this
on a
ahead.
PlayStation 5 controller? Yeah.
You could.
Good.
You could do it on a PlayStation 5 controller.
Yeah.
You can't do it on an Xbox. And I don't think you want to try to throw your Switch across the room. But I got to tell you, there's no sensor, right? Because this is not like a Wii, so there's no sensor to see where the controls are. This is freaking wizardry right here. How they got
It
this
is
to work
great
with the
because
gyroscope.
It uses the motion control, and you could also
It does.
recenter it by hitting the side button. It'll recenter. And so
Yes.
anytime you feel like you're off, you can recenter, and that's how you can really. We were playing this the other night with a friend, and we had a great time. I won, of course.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that's
So-
neat.
Yeah, and it works, and that's the thing. Again, it works. You see, I'm not having much issue with aiming and throwing,
Right.
and I'm hitting pretty well.
Yeah, I mean you're.
So, yeah, you could do this with Joy-Cons. So, the odd man out on this is the Xbox, and
But if it's still
Steam,
at
right? You
Connect,
could-
Right.
baby.
don't get me started with Connect.
Oh yeah, we could
I
just do
miss my
this.
Connect something terrible.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
have my
I miss
Connect.
my Connect something terrible. So, I can't see playing this with anything else. And honestly, the PlayStation 5 controller, here, I'll grab my PlayStation 5 controller.
It's the
Standing
chair. Oh,
That looks rad.
All right, show me an easy way to chuck this like
Yeah, right.
like darts.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you have to grab this thing.
Yeah, that you're not
Because
gonna
of its
twist
shape.
it or Yeah.
Yeah, whereas with this,
But you could use it
It's a
like a
it's
frisbee
rectangle.
or a boomerang.
Mm-mm.
you could use it like a boomerang. I don't know that I'd throw a dart like this though.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
And I also want to point out too that the mobile controller freaking works on this as well.
That's awesome.
It is
oh
amazing.
yeah, for sure.
So, so I'm gonna stop this because I know Chuck,
I have a
you've
dart
got
video
your
coming
own.
out.
Nice.
Yeah, and I want so we made this deal, before the show. I got the scoop on the Shark video. Yes. All right, I'm going to show just 2 more seconds of it since brother Yobi didn't see it. So I got the drop on the Shark video. Chuck Chuck's gonna put out his darts video first, and then I'll put out my full video like the next day. But yeah, that's darts, brother Yobi,
Very cool.
and it freaking works. So again, Chuck's the classic Duke controller. but it all. So what it all boils down to for me is, yes, Amico Home could be an alternative. And this is nothing that I haven't said or would not say to and I think they know this. For me, and this is just for me, the console is the end game.
Definitely the controllers.
Definitely the controllers, but I do have some concerns about how a family would use Amico Home, right? You know, you do need, again, I have to be objective. You have to figure out how to take your phone and hook it to your TV, which requires a
Well,
cable.
you know what happens,
Which,
right?
I mean, you
People
could
pick
get
up
the
the
cable.
phone and it's like, oh, there's a message, and then all of a sudden it's Candy Crush, and there goes the whole evening. You know?
That goes the whole evening. So, you know, to me, all roads lead to the console getting out. And I hope that it is. I am holding out hope because we're still testing, and because John is still working damn hard. You know, and Chrono, I sorry, I missed your other. That's the thing. I'm going to double dip. Also, I wish I didn't have to, but I understand. I just want to play these games any way I can, and I'm with you. That's one of the most important things, and it is something that they did talk about in the update. Was, you know, they are content, and the games are awesome. So, you know, I'm to the point here to where, minus the people who are not, I'll just say they're not honest brokers in this entire thing. The ones that legitimately were like, you know, look, if it comes out, great, but for now I'm out. They get their refund. They're taking the wait and see attitude. I don't begrudge them that, right? The legitimate ones that, right? I don't begrudge them that. I understand it, and I think they do too. And they have to prove I don't think I'm saying anything out of turn when I say that Intellivision has to reprove themselves to the people. Not us. We're in this, but they have to prove themselves
To the customer, yeah.
So, to the customer, I don't think that is an unreasonable thing to say.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. I keep forgetting the name of it. It's called the Intellivision Amico. I keep wanting to say club. The
Amico Club. I think that sounds like that's the gateway to the Amico Home.
Yeah, it's the Amico Club app.
No, there was in the email.
No.
The people where you can sign in, where you can sign in. What was that called?
Yeah.
Oh, the Amico Club.
Yeah.
The Amico Club list.
It sounds like they're going to open a portal maybe on the website that you can sign in.
Yeah.
It was the Amico Club. For some reason, I thought it was something different.
Yeah, no, they I think they're sticking with the Amico Club. Yeah.
You know what Sir X-Man wants for? Give us a $2 super chat. He said that console will be perfect for light gun games.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like a shooting
How would
gallery
they do
or
it?
something.
Yeah, shooting gallery would be fun. All right, here. Those who supported Intellivision early on helped set the foundation for all we've been able to achieve. We are truly thankful to you all. In the coming weeks, those that have maintained a deposit, so founders, stuff, will be able to sign in and verify their spot on the priority list, the Amico Club list. So we'll be able to just sign in.
And then the Amico Club app. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I was. And then we
Right.
have the Intellivision Amico Club on.
Yeah.
John Alvarado just said it's a little.
He says it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Rav says the Amico cult, just hit the join button.
Pretty awesome.
Nice.
So, Scepter, there's been a lot of Kickstarter campaigns that never refunded a failed product, so respect to Amico. Yeah, I mean, and they're not trying to. Again, if it was, nobody is sitting. I've said this many times. Nobody is sitting on a desert island, or not desert island. Jesus, nobody is sitting on a tropical island sipping Mai Tais right now. John's in our chat.
I want to do. I'd love
Working
to
on-
see a golf game.
Oh yeah.
Like
I-
now
yeah.
seeing how darts plays,
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see like
Yes.
Chip Shot 2 or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, before we go any further,
Yes.
it is definitely way past
No.
time.
Yeah. Thank you for hanging out a whole freaking half hour
Yeah,
later.
no.
Please tell
Thanks
your
for having
wife
Tell her we're
that
sorry.
we said thank you.
Kept
No.
hostage.
Yes. Tell her. Well, tell her I said thank you and Peter said sorry.
Will do.
No, but it was a pleasure, and I'm glad that you were here to talk about this for a bit with us, because I think it is important.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. It's always good
No.
fun hanging out with you guys too, and yeah, it's awesome. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, man.
And
Yeah,
Rich is part of the Gamers United Guild as Bacon Ice Cream Productions. His link is down below in the description. Please subscribe. We need to get you to 1,000, right?
Oh no, we're there. We're good.
We're there. We're at 1,000. We need to get you to 1,500.
That'd be
That's what
cool.
I meant to
All right,
say.
Yeah, sure.
So let's
Come on
go.
over,
Let's
hang
go.
out.
Let's
it's
go.
great. It's a great time.
So, yes. So, all right. Have a great night, Rich.
All right.
And thanks again for popping
Yeah,
in.
no, again. Thanks again for having me. See you guys, and yeah, we'll see
Absolutely.
you guys soon. Later.
Take care.
All
Good night, man.
Later. All right. Let me see if I can get us down to 3 people. Hang on. I'm going to do a little
Little wizardry.
wizardry. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make Chuck temporarily disappear. And we're going to move Chuck into Chris's spot. So now we'll all be red. Don't you love it? Look, it's TJC Game Studios. It's a stunt double.
Yeah.
It's a good looking man.
Yeah. All right, hang on. And there we go. All right. No, I'm glad he was able to pop in tonight, because I know, we haven't been able to hear Rich a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you for shutting me up so that he could talk.
Yeah, I also wanted to talk a little bit about PlayStation. I know you guys wanted to talk about the PlayStation, and I tell you what,
Yes.
I have a lot to talk about PlayStation. I got my PlayStation here. I brought my controller. Did you see they're doing these analog sticks? I don't know if you've seen that. It's for PlayStation.
Oh wow, that's
PlayStation
kind of
now.
new
Yeah.
technology.
It's
Wow.
I've got
and there's
got a
a
game
wire.
called Crash Bandicoot. I think it's brand new. There's also
Ooh.
if you haven't tried this racing game, it's called Ridge Racer. So just a lot of
Ridge Racer.
a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah.
Yes. No. Yeah, well, I did invite Rab on, but Rab declined because he wanted to he wanted to save his opinions for Amico Forever tomorrow.
Amico Forever. We're back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night at
9:30 p.m.
9:30?
Eastern. Yep.
all right. I guess I got to get home from the gym in time.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I have to make it an early gym night. So
This is a special night.
you
Maybe
know-
I could do if I have my darts thing ready. Maybe I'll debut it.
Oh,
but,
yes.
I don't know. I have
Yes.
to check with the guys, but I also have an Astro Smash one. But I know people have seen that a lot, so it's like I think people probably want to
yeah.
see darts a little bit more. But yeah,
Yeah, I did, and thank you, by the way, for letting us show this stuff tonight in television. I guess the bottom line on this is that I'm going with what I heard. What was it? Which Rocky was it? I ain't hear no bell. That one.
Ding.
Rocky 5 when he's fighting Tommy Morrison in the parking lot. we are still waiting for any new things to come up, Chuck, right? We still have to, they still, what I do hope is that we don't get to the answer to Peter's original question. And, I don't want to see them pull any plugs. I think as long as they can still keep things going and still work on getting the console out, I don't see a reason why they should stop. I don't see a reason to stop trying to make the console. If it begins to, look, if it threatens the survival of the company, America's going down.
This is countrywide.
No,
it's the whole of survival of the country.
This is country.
Now.
If it's, and I'm gonna put the Shark video back up for those who just
I
popped
love
in
Shark.
that haven't seen
Chrono
it
Prime
yet.
is asking, you think it's challenging enough for adults?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I think, the first level, you kind of get, but once you get into the second level and beyond, like, it gets hard. Especially when you're trying to, because I'm always trying to chew on the shark's tail, and that's, I think, where most of my deaths come from.
Yes. I have a slightly different tack to it.
Well, if you got two players, then you can mess with the shark,
Yeah.
If I'm playing, because I'm always playing solo, so that's it's a little tougher.
I so thoroughly just simply enjoyed playing with Spencer. Here's the thing, and again, this all goes back to, I do get this question, in all seriousness, Peter, I do get this question. Why are you still, why are you still pushing for this thing? Why aren't, it's dead, give it up. Why are you still? Because of this. He wanted to do this. Like, I didn't ask him to make this video. He's seen Seth make videos with me. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I want to do that. Dad, let's go play Shark. I want to play Shark. Can we film playing Shark? And besides the fact that we were having fun filming, we were just having a dang good time playing the game.
Yeah.
Just a good time playing the game. And this is 9 minutes of about 50 that I recorded. And I just wasn't going to put up an hour-long Shark video. But it is what I wish for. Hey, Saber Wolf. I'm glad Intellivision made it possible to play amazing games on other systems.
Breaking Amico now, national security issue.
You thought it was impossible. So I get what you're trying to do, Saber, and yes, some of them will be, and yes, you could play Astro Smash with a regular controller, but there's some stuff that is just better played with this controller.
I think Shark is a great example of the disc, because I think you can really turn on a dime, like to do that rotation where you're just like, moving it, and you could do that like I always said, you could do like a figure eight with this, and like I love the control. Like I really love the disc, but I'm a little biased because I still play Intellivision to this day. Like, it's insane how much Intellivision I get. So this is like constantly, this feels right to me. So that could be it too.
Right. Well, but again, the analog stick is great for things, but I think you will have a better control time using the disc on this game.
Oh yeah.
You can. I mean, you can easily see how fast these fish turn. I mean, this is not something you even hide. It is. You see it. You see them turn on a dime.
Yeah,
this is the one I figured that the disc
was
does.
like good for that disc. Like, Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess I'd have to try. If this does come out on Switch, I'd probably get it just to try it, you know, to see how it
Sure.
translates. Same with like the Astro Smash. Like if someone with people were saying earlier, like double dipping. Like I've done that. I've done that with Donut Dodo on Steam. I'd rather play it on Switch, so I bought it twice. You know, like so I get that whole thing. You know, especially for someone, and that's the frustrating thing is I have this thing here. And I want everyone to play it, you
Right.
know, and I can't invite everyone to my house because there's crazy people out there. But I would love to. I would love to just invite anyone to come and play, you know. And that's the thing that gets frustrating. Oh, look at the shark's taking a nap.
Did I? Oh, hold on. Because this is hilarious. Hold on. This is the beauty of my
Watch
son.
out, don't get too close to him.
Hold on.
Man, got him.
You ate them. Don't come back. What's to make me feel good?
He pulled a Ghostbusters reference in the middle of the video. Oh my god. But again, this is and you know what, Saber, let me come back to your point. This experience, you're not gonna get on it on Steam. Could you get it on an Xbox? Perhaps. But there's an experience here that just...
Yeah, I think if going back to the multi-platform, hey, if that gets a few people more interested in this and then, you know, they start producing consoles, then maybe someone will pick one up, you know. If anything, it's going to be a big part of gaming history, I'll tell you that.
Yep. But if you know, if Shark is available for other people to play while there's no console yet out, and they can play it on a Switch or an Xbox, nor power. Again, the game itself is still fun. The experience may not be the same 100%, you know, precision that you get with the Amigo controller, but
you could have got that upside down crab.
Matter.
Remember, you can get him when he's upside down and you're
yeah, but I wasn't. We tried. I wasn't big enough yet.
Oh,
see, you'll see. I try.
No, I actually do like this game. To be honest, I loved Finnegan Fox. I got really far in that, and then I have there's just a lot of great games I think on the system. Darts has got to be my favorite though, right now.
Yeah, Revolution of the Disc. I just caught that too. Dreadpool said people just don't understand the revolution of the disc.
But
little double entendre. You know, and again, I'll point out that games like Missile Command, which are already out on multiple consoles under the Atari label, they're just not as good. It's not as good. That controller is a game changer for that game. And yeah, the disc is where the magic is, as Relic says, and I think that people are going to see that. But you know, we're at this position now where this may be all they can get right now. So there is that to consider as well, right? You know, because there's no console yet. So
yeah,
I'm also, you know, it's a rock and a hard place because I also understand there's the two things that I could, you know, that are the two big pieces of this system are the games and the controller. The console's the console, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not as kind of, you know, I'm not as off the wall about the Amico home idea, other than I think that there is I do think there's a barrier that the console does not give you that has to be overcome, and that is multiple devices.
Yeah,
you know, one of the things
that's
about
good
the console
is mobile. Mobile's huge, man. You're gonna hit people that have no clue what an Amico is. They're just gonna want to play the shark game, or they're just gonna want to play the, you know, whatever game. They're just gonna want to have a good time, and if you can do that, and and it
Right.
helps this company
But they'll
get out
need-
those founders for the people that pre-ordered, then yes, I'm all about it.
Yes,
I
and
have no
that's-
problem with that.
Right. Because again, the end game is the console.
Right.
That I will John knows it, right? John, I'm not saying anything that I haven't said to John directly. The end game's the console. And I think John believes the end game's the console. I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but the man is sitting there working on it right now while he's chatting with us. I'm pretty sure that's, now, getting Amico out to as many people as possible is why they're doing Amico Home.
Yeah.
But the console to me is the end game. And I think that's I just think that's what they have to concentrate on, at least getting out. And if it fails, it fails.
But
right?
at least get it out.
If
I just want to
you know-
see it out there.
Right.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
I've watched too many things get to the starting gate and never make it out, like the Gizmondo, the Infinium Labs Phantom console, which was so completely aptly named. And sometimes it sucks to see something not come to fruition. At the same time, I have all the respect in the world for Nokia, right? They stuck with the N-Gage as long as they could, and they even made a second version of it to try to fix the problems with the first version. And it failed. It didn't make it. But they at least put it out, and that's what I'm...
Yeah,
That's
and if anything, it'll
what
be
I wanna
grabbed up
see.
by people that are big Intellivision fans, like the founders, and maybe a few others. It doesn't mean that it's like it needs to be out there. I think so. It needs to be out.
Yeah.
Eventually. And I think the regrouping or I keep saying this, the regroup or the reset for this company and how they're going to keep it going is a great idea. Do we want the console? Yeah. So that's disappointing, but this is a way we're going to get it. It's the only way. It's really the only way.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? The three of us, because the three of us are founders, edition holders with our deposits intact, we're going to get on this list and we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, I want to know about the like special offers and stuff. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. So let me show this again. Oops, sorry. Let me show. Not that everybody doesn't know Rigid Force Redux is on the system, but I don't think I can show that yet. But for those like Chrono Prime that just popped in, this was the missile command, and I'm playing this on. So you see it in the upper right corner. I'm playing this on my. I'm not playing it. I'm playing it on the Amico, but I'm using my mobile controller because I wanted people to see me moving my finger across the controller and seeing how it moves the reticle. And you could see where I'm pressing up, left, and right on the virtual disk to fire the weaponry. So, these are the kind of experiences that I want to see other people experience.
Yeah, me too.
And that I think is, that's really where I think it is. It's about getting people to experience what it is you and I have experienced. And, Peter, I still need to, you're part of NLG. So technically I need to get you in front of this thing.
Yes.
Soon.
It's fun. I've never had anybody that I've had play it. Like most of the people are not like on YouTube or like my friends, like they're, families and relatives and stuff that, there's people that really don't even play games, but, playing stuff like cornhole and darts and, even Astro Smash, and a few with their kids, Shark. I've never had anybody go, this is stupid, or I don't like this, I'm good. Most of them like my cousin the other day is like, hey, you want to, can I come by and play cornhole? I go like, yeah, come on by.
Right.
So it's
So.
It's not like, once again, we understand it's not super graphics, it's not it's not Xbox, but it's just
Right.
it's a little party machine for group play. That's what it is. It's a
Right.
group play machine. That's and like I said, you get 4 people playing darts, or you get 4 people playing a cornhole game. It's fun. It's really fun. I dig it. Another one I really liked was pool, but I have not play tested it, but I did play it at a year ago in Boston.
You played it in Boston. I have not seen that
That's
yet.
a beautiful looking game. I love the sounds. I just think it looks great. And like I said, it was something I was like, who cares? Pool. Like, they had pool games on Genesis. They had pool games on Play. Like, I don't care about. They had pool game original, but when I played it, I was like, oh man, this is kind of neat. And it made me want to build like a like a pool table out of a flat screen, like a digital pool table, because of how it sounded and played. I thought it was really neat. And you'd have your controllers and you go around the table and kind of shoot your ball, and I thought that was really neat.
Oh, Relic. I was gonna bring up Evil Knievel, because Relic said, remember all the kids playing Evil Knievel at the diner during Amico Fest. I do. Remember the level 857 guys playing Evil Knievel for like hours straight.
I remember like 12 people playing that emoji charades.
I remember that
was
too.
fun.
I've got that. That was fun. So I know we're starting to beat a dead horse, and I do want to save some of this for tomorrow for you, because I know, but look, I do want to thank. There you go. John said he added. See, all right. This is something else too, and I know they've been with both of us, but I cannot begin to tell you guys that are watching this, that are in the chat, how much John and his team have listened to our feedback. And I mean, I might speak a little out of school, but John can yell at me later. But I've got to throw some serious sugar his way. The mobile controller, him and I worked on kind of together. I would play it, give him his feedback. He'd make changes to it, publish another one real quick. I'd download it, play it. Yep, this works. This doesn't work. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? And he would make changes as we go. I probably, there was one night I think John and I were up to like, it was 2 a.m. my time. And we were like, he was passing me like 3-4 iterations as he was building it. And again, this is 2 a.m. my time. So it's 11 p.m. his time. And he's up working on this. And, but listening.
Yeah.
And there's only been a couple times in my kind of gaming life that I have felt this way about having input. Number one was being in MLB 2K7 as a relief pitcher for the 88 Dodgers. That was really, really cool. But knowing that I've had input into some things that they're working on while they have time to work on it, like this, added to touch controllers, especially for that missile command video. Those are the things that also kind of draw me to the system, because these people are real, Intellivision has taken a lot of shit, and some of it is warranted. I'm not suggesting they are perfect. Some of it's warranted. But some of the most ridiculous stuff revolves around the people. And I can tell you, I've gotten to know John just like you have.
Yeah,
Chuck,
absolutely. He's a great dude, man.
Couple years. And I think the world of that man. Just the absolute, he is he is a talent that I think you guys don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's, again, this all comes into this frustration that I have that you guys are not able to see what we're seeing. You know, because that's I can't wait for that magic time when this thing does happen, because it's you know, it's this wonderful thing. It's this wonderful thing that I would need people to see.
Yeah, it is awesome, and I consider all these people my very good friends. And you know, people can say what they want about that, but it's very true. I've gotten to know Phil really well. I've gotten to know John very well. Tommy, you know, they're all good friends of mine, and you know, and all they want is this console to come out, and they've been just struggling, but they're good people with the passion to have this come out, and they want it out, like, I know this is a broken record again, but they want it out more than any of us, you know. That's why they're still at it, you know. They wouldn't still be at it if they were just done, you know, or didn't care, you know. They absolutely care.
Right.
And I think I believe this email shows they really do care about keeping this company going. And unfortunately, like I said, it's not what we want to hear. We want all of us want to hear, here's the ship date, you know. That's what we all want to hear. I understand that, but I think these guys are working their butts off trying to make this work, because of everybody that pre-ordered, has a founder, you know, wants their wood grain or their galaxy purple, or to play the games on their shelf. They understand that, and they're not trying to, you know, they want that too. They want that any way they can do it, you know, and that's kind of what this email was about. So I'm hoping that works out, and that happens soon. So anyways.
Yeah. All right. So I think we've covered. Peter, you get the last, because you've been sort of listening to the rest of us talk. So you get the last words on this.
Yeah. I just hope it comes out, and you know, as envisioned. So we'll wait for that day.
Yeah. Radiant, we covered that way earlier in the show. Yes, they're we saw the same thing. And what I can tell you is they're still Amico games.
Oh yeah. That was also mentioned in the last email too.
Right.
Yeah, the
they're
BBG,
still Amico games. They're still coming out on the Amico. They're still, and there is, and any future games, sequels, Intellivision consoles, those games will continue to come to the Amico. So, it is a partnership to where, you know, it's part of the email that came out. It's part of the email from yesterday, right? Licensing our IP to development partners who have product pedigrees that are creatively aligned and best poised to bring something great to the market. Leveraging our IPs in ways that ensures delivery on Amico, but additionally expands our content to entirely new audiences Intellivision would otherwise be unable to reach. That's what that is. And so
what I can't figure out,
so
before you guys switch up, what I can't figure out is, how do the overlays go? John, can you kind of get a hold of me, and we got to figure out how to, like, maybe like a little frame or something for the overlay.
Gotch tape.
That might work. Like a 3M command.
Gotch tape. That's how I've been doing it. Command strips. That's how I've been doing it. So, and again, Peter, I want to get this. I got to get this thing in your hands too. John said, "Lick the backside of the overlay, it'll stick."
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, wait, I don't
So-
know where this overlay's been. I'm just going to put this down.
Atari has games on other platforms. Those are still Atari games. Came with Sega. Yeah, it is what it is.
Color forms overlay, Stacy Kramer. That'd be a good
And
idea.
Stacey, by the way,
why would that
I wanna-
work? It'd be kind of like the Magnavox Odyssey when you put the thing over the TV screen. Hey, you know what?
Yes.
I'm just spitballing here, guys. I think we need to have a video chat soon.
I do want to point out, by the way, that Stacy was the first comment on our video,
Oh, that's cool.
and I'd appreciate that. So that was awesome. Oh. Sorry, that's got a laugh out. Stick in your hands. So, all right. So I think we've covered this pretty well. Here's how this is gonna work, Chuck, and you're welcome to stay. I'm not kicking you off. I know you're not
do
much
need
of
to
a
go.
modern game
obviously
guy.
We're going to talk Pac-Man,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Yes, we'll
into
talk
the
Pac-Man for 2
PlayStation,
hours, and then we'll. But there are a ton more people watching the show than usually do, because of course it says Amico in the thing. We're gonna switch over and talk some PlayStation, and I'm gonna lose half the audience.
I told you I brought my PlayStation. I'm ready to
Yes,
talk
your
PlayStation.
Yes.
It's this new
can I
console.
connect-
Like I said, if you have not tried Ridge Racer, it'll
Am I
blow you
able
away.
to-
The polygons alone.
Am I able to connect my DualShock 5 to it?
I mean, does it have? It's got
I mean,
this
'cause-
big plug though, and a pretty long cord though.
No, mine just has a little plug, this little like plug here.
Well, that looks like a futuristic spaceship.
Chapter
I don't even
says
know what that's
actually you
about.
can with an
And, Honey
adapter.
Shrunk the Kids kind of thing.
Right. So I'll tell you, you know what is kind of cool though, Chuck, is there is since you have a PlayStation, you I am sure have heard of it's bedtime for me. Good night, Stacy. Thanks for popping in.
Okay.
See, we're gonna talk PlayStation. That is gonna put all the Amico people to sleep.
Yeah.
You do know of Gran Turismo, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so Gran Turismo 7, which is on PS5, the very cool thing I do have to say about this controller, since we love to talk
Wait, there's a
controllers.
5? I didn't even know
There
I didn't even
is.
know there was a 2. Oh. All right.
Oh yeah. This actually also has a gyroscope in it, which is why Peter said you could use this to play darts. Although, agaugh, I'm trying to.
How about
I've been sitting here
boomerangs?
trying to figure out
Boomerangs.
how to boomerangs. There
can
you go.
throw
Let's
it and
make
come
that
back
happen.
to you. Nope,
But you could
Well,
actually
let's
use
see
this as a steering wheel.
none needed. You
Much
just
like,
take this
remember-
off and you just throw it and hope it
And
comes
just-
back.
And hope it comes back. Well, when it bounces off the wall, it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can actually, because this is the only way I play Gran Turismo 7, is using the controller as a steering wheel. Like you actually do turn this like this and steer with it, and it is the only way.
Oh, really? No kidding. That'd be
Oh,
kind of
John.
neat to play. I don't know about those
haven't-
newfangled game stations and stuff that you're talking about. But
No, John's got to go. He says, "I got to go, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for the kind words, Myke. I mean every bit of it. I know Chuck."
Just
I
kind
don't
words
think
from Mike. My words were not that kind. Okay. That's
take care, John.
Yeah, have a good night.
Says it's been a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to continuing the collaboration. I do too. I do. So, hey, Phil. Phil's been silently listening the whole time. Look at that. Bedtime
big
for Views.
guy.
Jonathan, the big guy's here. So he'll be calling me afterwards. I told you not to show Missile Command. What the hell's wrong with you?
Phil, I tried to tell him.
And I'm gonna say,
Showing
John told me I
He
could.
was almost
John
to the
told me
point
I
where He
could.
was grabbing a screwdriver and he was going to open the thing. I was like, Mike, you need to stop. So just so you know, I just, this stuff doesn't happen on Amico forever. Oh, goodness.
Oh my goodness. So see, all right. So oh man. So so I know where everybody can find you, Chuck, because your link is also down in the description below. Thanks to Chuck also being TJC Game Studios, being part of the Gamers United Guild, one of my favorite members with all the fun stuff that you do. I was an instant fan of yours. Minute we met, I've had the opportunity to meet you at Amico Fest, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks when we get up to Boston to see Video Games Live.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So we'll have to record some stuff for sure.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be Pac-Man related. So I hope you're ready to talk some Pac-Man finally.
Let's go. Waka, waka, waka.
Okay, Fozzie Bear.
So, but I appreciate you coming on and talking about this
appreciate
tonight,
it.
too.
I do need to go. I have some darts to play and record. So, yeah.
Oh, hey, that darts game, that crazy.
I'm gonna try to use this controller though, and see if I can. I can just throw this at the TV.
Sure. I might have to try using my Xbox controller and seeing if, just do a little darts. So I can't wait for your video though, because
it should be fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got a couple friends playing, and then me kind of going over it. But I'll talk to the big guy, and we'll see what we got going for tomorrow. But I appreciate it,
awesome.
Myke, and thanks, Peter. Great seeing you, and just great to be on. And anytime you guys looking for a panelist, hit me up, man. I'm always down to come on and and talk the crazy new fangled game station graphic stations, whatever they're called. What are they called? The Z box and the graphics station. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Have a great night, brother.
You too. Take care.
All right. We're gonna be a little off. Let me do this, because we'll be off kilter otherwise. So I think what I'm gonna do is this, and oh crap. All right.
Well, it's studios, right?
It's TJC
plural, right?
everywhere.
It's like studio 1 on the left,
all right.
2 on the right.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna remove him from where the hell did I have him? Oh yeah. All right, and we'll just be a little off kilter. It's okay.
It's okay.
When am I not off kilter?
Exactly.
So Scepter says double vision.
I mean, on the smaller the screen, the more we're in the middle.
There you go. All right, so I think we have definitely covered that, and Chuck will cover that tomorrow as well on Amico Forever, which will be at 9:30. So definitely make sure you are checking out that show on DJC's channel, which is again thanks, brother. Thanks you, brother Phil, and thank you, and thank you for allowing us to start showing some things. I know, a lot of people have been asking, and I do appreciate it.
I'll be ready for to test the Dutch version.
Oh yeah.
We're going international.
We got to get you.
Where's my unit?
I do have to get you. We've got to get a Saturday or a Sunday together to where I can get this in front of you and Haley. It is frustrating. I mean, in all honesty, it really is, because I know how I'm with it. I know how Seth and Spencer is with it. Jacob even brought over a friend to play, and he's 18, and he brought over one of his high school friends, and even they had a good time playing Astro Smash and Evil Knievel. Evil Knievel is one of these really hard to explain phenomena games that there's nothing to it. There's 4 people with rocket ships, and you're just trying to shoot the ship over a canyon and get it to hit a target on the ground. There's literally nothing to this game. But I'm telling you, Peter, the people that put their hands on it play it for hours. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
So,
It'll be fun once you start having a drink with that too.
yeah. Oh my God. Yes, that's the adult
The
version.
adult version. And that's when you need that strap on that controller.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So we've gone through the Amico stuff. To those who are watching, oh, how many games were behind DJC? 3-Bit asked. Dude, his collection is. Let me see if his I don't know if his picture's still up at all. Let me see. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can get that image behind him.
Quite a few.
It is, yeah. He's got almost the entire.
Hey, including an Amico box.
Oh yeah, but he's got. I think the our upper right, his upper left. He's got a couple Sega CDs. He's got a ton of TurboGrafx stuff up there. He's got Atari 2600. You could see over his left shoulder. NES, Tab. He's got a Switch with a bunch of Switches. It's really funny. He jokes about not playing much modern stuff. He does play Switch. So he's and some Genesis stuff. He just started collecting Genesis. So yeah, he's got a ton of stuff. And he's got that's not even counting his arcade stuff that he has. He's got a killer arcade. Oh.
Yeah, very nice.
So and thank you everybody in the chat. It is a difficult subject to talk about sometimes, because obviously there's a lot of drama that goes with this. Peter, you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen what, some of these knuckleheads online have done to me, have done to Chuck, have done, to my other, our other friends.
Just to our show.
To our show.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's a video game system. It's video games. Like it or not, we're going to cover it like we cover everything else. We go weeks without talking about the Amico because there's other stuff to talk about. Xbox Play. We're going to get ready to talk about some PlayStation right now. But there's still, I'm still testing it. There's still information. We're going to talk about it. And we're not going to be afraid to. That's the other thing, too. I will not be bullied or pushed out of talking about the system. I want it. A lot of people want it.
Yeah.
Till it's dead, and we do a post-mortem on it.
We'll keep the dream alive.
Then, right. And that's
till it becomes a nightmare.
all there is to it. Till it becomes a nightmare. And I hope that doesn't come to.
Yeah.
I truly do. I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
So let's get to the other topic.
All right. This is for Sir X-Man. We're talking about griddles. The griddle showcase. No, just kidding. PlayStation showcase and presentation.
Yeah. So I split that into two for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Victor Click said, thank you for the info. I never would have known of that. Absolutely. That's what we're here. That's what we're here for. So I didn't know this, but so we all know that coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sony.
3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Sony is putting on their PlayStation Showcase, which I think is ballsy that they're going to put it up ahead of the Xbox one that comes June 12th. So they're going early. And let me bring up the I'm going to watch our numbers too, because I guarantee you, Peter, we're going to lose half our audience. Because we're talking about PlayStation now. And that's so. This and bring up PlayStation blog. So unfortunately, because it's 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. rather, it's 4 p.m. our time.
4 p.m.
We're not going to be able. Yeah, we're not going to be able to live stream it because I'm going to be at work.
I don't think I'm even able to watch it live.
I doubt I'll be able to. I'll watch it later. A wealth of new games and new IP are headed to PS5 and PSVR 2. So for a minute, Peter, I know you and I specifically too, we got kind of a bad taste in our mouth right now with Sony because of all the shenanigans going on with, the ABK merger and the CMA and all that stuff.
I don't know why they do a showcase if the situation's so dire that they're gonna close up shop like the day after. It's like
without Call of Duty.
Yeah, the days are numbered.
Without Call of Duty.
Why bother?
Yeah. Hey, Game Buffet. Don Matrick predicted the future and society casted him to the wastelands. Where's our Don Matrick marble statue that he deserves? There's some truth in that. It's funny. I never trashed Don Matrick except for the ridiculous submarine comment.
He was not wrong though.
He wasn't wrong. It was just a dumb thing to say at E3.
It's not the smartest thing to say.
But I don't give that as much. I don't give him as much hate as other people do.
No. The media saw something that it could pick on to kill Xbox, and they tried hard. They're still trying every day.
They're still trying every day. But I want to put that aside for tonight.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because it is still about video games, right? And we still want to see. Look, you and I both have a PS5.
Yes, I had a day one.
So, and I want to see games for the PlayStation 5, right? The only game we're getting right now this year is Spider-Man 2, and I will be playing the ever-loving crap out of Spider-Man 2. September.
Okay.
It's still September 10th, yeah. I think it's still September-ish, right? Still September. They're going to put that up against Starfield. They're not afraid of that. So I'm going to play them both.
I'll wait for Spider-Man 2 to get on sale. Once it's on sale, I'll pick it up.
Well, can we play as two spiders? That was okay. I got it. What's up, brother Gunter? That's my brother Gunter right there. Let me address that real quick. Nobody expected a game to be co-op. I think.
No, but wouldn't it be kind of cool if he looks in the mirror and stuff is mirrored and do something with that? It's like an alternative universe thing.
Oh yeah, like the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. But you can't have like two holding
medium
hands, and strolling through, York Avenue or something.
I never expected it to be co-op, and that's not gonna hurt the game. I think that's just. Look, guys, there's plenty to complain about trust me, why Chris isn't on the show right now, because we fought about the Xbox. I'm not. There's plenty to bang on both of these companies for right now. This is not it. Spider-Man being single player is not.
It's all about,
That
it's all
ain't it,
about
Chief.
how many puddles of water they have. You know,
There you go.
should be more than the last
That's
one,
it. The
otherwise
puddles.
it's a failure.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's Spider-Man. You know,
so
it's gonna sell.
it is
It's gonna
Spider-Man.
sell game busters. You know, it's
It is. And I think I'm gonna be day one on it, because it was one of the games I platinumed.
Yes,
I really enjoyed it.
me too.
And
Except the some
I-
of the side missions were kind of a drag, but
Yeah, a little bit. Now I did not, admittedly, play Miles Morales.
I have it, but I have not played it yet. It might even be still shrink wrapped.
That was a co-op discussion going on. Scepter says every game doesn't have to have co-op. Gunter says you're wrong. So getting back to this, all right, tomorrow, so the show's going to run a bit over an hour, focusing on PS5 and PS5 VR2 games in development from top studios around the world. Expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games from our third-party partners and indie creators. So obviously we are going to get some multi-plat stuff tomorrow. But, and here's where I
like
think...
multiplat with exclusive, but no,
With
no,
exclusivity.
with the exclusivity
Timed
of no
exclusivity.
Xbox,
Right.
no Suit
Right.
for You version.
Right. So X says he wants to see Twisted Metal at the showcase. So in a perfect world, Peter, what
I want to see SOCOM.
what do you want to see tomorrow?
I never played the SOCOM, but I always wanted to play that, but I never had it.
Man,
So
I would
I
love.
want that to go
I would.
current gen, PS5.
Oh, calm. I would love SOCOM so much. SOCOM was my first real competitive first-person shooter. It was a thing of beauty, and it was so wild to play. I'm taking a quick look at.
A smaller game that needs to come out is another Lemmings, a proper Lemmings, not a crap that you could get on like a mobile,
Oh yeah,
like a real one.
And they do own
And they
Diagnosis.
they do.
Oops, sorry. Back to the.
And if they don't want to do that, then they should just sell that IP to somebody who does.
Right. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that I think they're just going to sit on it. And that's
Yeah,
part of the problem with both of these. Part of the problem with both of these companies, they sit on these IPs
maybe-
and you never get.
Maybe it should be something like, you know, if you don't bring anything out in that particular IP, that IP becomes, I don't know, public domain.
So it's funny you mention that, and it's funny because Rabs in the chat.
Uh-huh. Did you have same thoughts?
That was one of our not quite, but that was one of our discussions on Panda Sub's Master Debaters thing when it came to emulation, and that actually was something that was brought up. So you're not very far off of some interesting ideas in that realm.
Interesting. I did not see that episode.
Yeah. That was a fun show. It was me, it was Rab, it was Rich, and it was Mr. Matthews, and we had such a great time. It was such a fun show. Apparently, I set off many a Nintendo fanboy with yes. Apparently, I set Nintendo's fan base on fire. But I'm looking up. So I'll bring this over. I'm looking up to see if I have the my SOCOM review from way back in the day. Oh, I do. All right. So
pop it on the screen.
this is how badly I want SOCOM. So this was my review in 2003. The byline is, SOCOM should be the reason you got your online adapter, because back then to do online, you needed the modem, or you needed they made a modem and they made an Ethernet, and it's the first it was the first Sony online title for the PS2. It's also the first military-style first and third-person online console FPS. It was 16 players, 8 on 8, but with great strategy. And it was also one of the first games on the PlayStation that had full headset controller. It wasn't a great-looking game, but it was a great playing game. And bottom line is I gave it a 75, which at the time...
that's now a 100 out of 100 score on the IGN scale.
Yes. Well, it makes a mediocre single-player excursion because it didn't have much of a story to it, but changes to a completely different game when you jump online. And that's what I loved about it. You go back and see if I had done SOCOM 2. So shout out to archive.org, the Internet Wayback Machine, who kept... And I still, by the way, I still have my PSP version of SOCOM. Nice. Just as an aside, that's how much I want it. Did I review SOCOM 2? I did. I reviewed SOCOM 2 also in 2003 because it came out later. And pictures. They kept some pictures in here. Not all of them, but that one I gave an 88. So got better. Yeah. So here, and you need to take time with SOCOM 2 and see what you missed the first time around. If you've been going to your friend's house wondering why you don't have a game like Ghost Recon or Rainbow Six, now you do. Yeah. That, I'm telling you, that
would have been right on my right at my alley.
Yeah. So I want SOCOM.
Yes.
As well.
Well, and PlayStation wants gas games, right? So there you go.
Oh yeah, that's
the
true.
Heck out of it.
Wouldn't it be wild if Bungie made it?
Yeah, they could.
Ooh. When was the last SOCOM game? SOCOM 3 was 2005, I think. And then the PSP version as well. So
yeah, I love
the Ghost Recon games for 360
games. The Island Thunder and Desert Siege.
Oh yes, those were great. Although
I played those on PC.
I did,
and those were fantastic.
I have them on the OG Xbox. But I did love Advanced Warfighter too. I know it was a little less.
It always seemed like a little laggy in the sense of with movements and stuff. It's never as tight.
Yeah. Although that 60 FPS upgrade made it better.
Yes.
When we played it on Xbox.
True.
And I think that Breakpoint, which you, me, and Rick like these are playing now, is a lot more in that old style. and I like that. So, I'm trying to think what else I would like to see. I think what I'm looking more for.
What about a
I'm
PSVR
getting a
2
little-
price cut?
That's what I'm hoping for, because
That's not gonna happen. I don't
there's
think.
just a. I'm watching Peniac Giant, one of the guys from Gaming Beyond the Box. Good guy, good PlayStation guy. I'm watching him put up videos of Gran Turismo 7 in VR.
Yeah, that looks delicious.
And I want to play that.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I want to play that.
but not for what is it? $500.
Not for that. Can you jump in SOCOM? Scepter says price cut already. Well, I'm going to show something in a minute that I showed Peter earlier before the show that I wasn't aware of. But I want to see more on the PSVR 2. I did enjoy the PSVR. I have a lot of fun with it. It's still over there. But
Have
I'm
you hooked
having a
it up
lot
to
of fun
your,
too with
PS5?
no,
Me neither.
because my PSVR is the original that did not have the HDR box.
Yeah, mine does too. But still, I mean, you can just hook it up and see how it
Oh
plays.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, I'd lose HDR.
yeah,
And not all the games are compatible.
correct. Which I think
Um,
is
Cruddy.
yeah.
So not all the games I could even play with the original headset. And I've really enjoyed my time with the Oculus Quest 2. So there's a part of me that is getting a little bit of FOMO
Mm-hmm.
with the PSVR 2. Like I'd love to have it, but not at the cost of not the same cost of the console.
No.
What's the price? What's your price on it? That would make you jump at it.
300.
I don't know if they're going to get that
No,
far down.
Probably
that-
not. So
yeah.
I'll just keep on dreaming.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much is Oculus
Would you go
Quest 2 right
would you
now?
go three-
They dropped that back in price.
They
Like
did. Let me
it's
look.
like $400, I think. For the 256,
Yeah.
128 is like even cheaper. Or maybe it was
Let me take a
429
look.
or something. But
And I'm sorry, it's the Meta Quest 2. I know I keep calling it Oculus.
yeah,
it's a
potato,
thing.
potato.
Potato. Right.
Sir X-Men says new Forza
$3.99.
Motorsport in VR on PC would be awesome. Yeah.
I would.
Oh, what about
So MetaQuest.
what about the that racing game? I forgot the name. Assetto Corsa, whatever it is.
Oh, Assetto Corsica.
Corsica, yeah. That one looks like super sweet too. Remember they played footage for that and
Yes.
people thought it was the GT7. But it wasn't. That one looks
Who
really
makes
sweet.
that? Assetto Corsa. Sorry.
Yeah,
Assetto
Yeah.
Corsa.
there we have it.
Made by Kuno Simulazania.
Sounds Italian.
Yeah. I think it is. So the MetaQuest 2 is currently $399.
Yeah.
So given that I have heard that the PSVR 2 is a little more powerful than the MetaQuest 2, although I say that also saying that the MetaQuest 2 is dang impressive. Would you consider it? Would you consider a PSVR 2 at $399?
I don't know. I think at that point
I'd
I'd
give it a
rather get a
look.
MetaQuest 2. Or maybe a MetaQuest 3, because that's coming out in the very near future.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Their new thing that MetaQuest Pro, I think, is what they really love to get you into if they could. But the game, I mean, it's going to be about the games too, and that's
Mhm.
what I think I want to see. I want to see the games because,
Yeah.
well, here's another issue, and here's where I think I may be out by default. Not because of want, but
Here's the thing: if you could use that one on PC as well, then
I don't think you can.
No, at least not yet.
But you could use the Meta. You could use the Meta Quest 2 on.
No, I know, but if you could use the PSVR 2 on PC, then I might think about $399.
I think at that point you just get the Meta.
Well, but you cannot use that one on PlayStation.
No, you cannot. Rab says, enjoyed my time with Google Cardboard. Price was right. So the other issue is, and here's where I'm going to have a bit of a tough time. So, I just had to buy a new car.
Yes.
And that is $450 a month.
But the gas savings.
Dude. Peter, I can't tell you. I'm getting 50. All right. I got a Kia Niro. A 2019 Kia Niro, which is a great hybrid. I drove Seth and I we always go to Scouts before the show on Tuesdays, which is why, unfortunately, I can't always watch our brothers over at Retro Renegades. I try my best when I can, but I have Scouts. I drove him to and from Scouts, and I would say 3/4, if not more, of that trip was on the electric part of the motor. It is a 7-mile each way trip, and I used 2 miles worth of gas. It is insane. On the highway at 55 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, if you put it in cruise control, it'll kick the electric motor in every once in a while just to pull the car along at that speed.
Yeah.
I am blown away with that. It could be a month before I have to fill the gas tank. So Scepter says, do you need to install a charging station at home? This is not it's not a plug-in hybrid. So Peter, have you heard the term on this? This is a regenerative braking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. So when you brake or when the car decelerates, that friction that the motor, that I guess the wheels or whatever friction is happening because of the brakes and because of just deceleration, charges the battery while you're driving. It's almost like, and then if it gets really, really low, the engine will charge the battery like an alternator, with its alternator. Right. So I save so much gas I could buy a PSVR 2 now. Yeah, but that car payment. Unfortunately it came 6 months early because Jacob got into an accident that was just a fluke, such a fluke accident. I feel so bad for him because he was shaken up, unharmed, but shaken up. But that's going to stop me from. I think it's gonna stop me from being able to spend that kind of money on a PSVR 2.
So you could trade in your MetaQuest 2 for a PSVR 2.
Like
straight up.
Straight up. I think I would do that deal. Because a lot of the games that are on the MetaQuest are also on PSVR. And there is a slight power increase to the PSVR. I've noticed, just being honest, I've played a lot of games on the MetaQuest sitting down. I don't do a lot of games standing up. And so I'm not sure the freedom of setting my room boundary is as big a deal as it is. And maybe it's just the games I'm playing, but I think I would do that. Yeah, I think I would do that trade if it was straight up, or even if it was
Say $100.
$100, $100. Yeah, I think I'd do that deal. Am I crazy for that?
I don't know. The thing is, like, if you could use the PSVR on PC, then I would say, hell yeah, definitely. But without it, it's like you're a little bit more limited.
Well, keep in mind too, I don't play PC games.
True.
And you can plug the MetaQuest into the PC, but your PC has to be strong enough to run the game too.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Yeah, I think I would do that deal for straight up. Yeah, I would. I would do that deal. So, if you're listening, Sony, I'm available for a trade.
Hey, I'll test one out.
Can I pilot one?
Yeah, I'll pilot one.
So in amongst that, I would like to see the PSVR games and see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for like really good games, and not like because still a lot of them still look like a little
it's time for them
inferior
to stop.
than their full blown.
Yes. But it's time for them to stop being, excuse me, it's time for them to stop being experiences.
Correct.
And start being
Yeah.
more games. And
maybe
I will
we're getting
say
there
I'm
sooner or
playing
later, but
I think so, and I'm playing some good games on the MetaQuest too. The air simulator that I was playing, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Whatever the name of that is a solid game and very, very open world-ish. There's a mountain climbing or a rock climbing game that is actually very, very solid. I think that they are trying to get there, and Moss is another one that kind of proves you can do it.
right.
There's a Layers of Fear VR. I haven't played that, but that looks good. Obviously, games like Dance Central, I think, because of the cameras that are in the system that could, possibly. Well, I don't know how Dance Central would work because it's got
to kind of really record what you are doing, just what you see.
it's
You
gotta
can
record your
basically
whole-
look at somebody else and judge them.
Yeah, I bet it's just more for arm movements than anything else.
Yeah.
No. But there's a lot of stuff out there that I think is starting to get there. So I really would like to see where they go with it.
And also, I need to get rid of that sour taste.
I know. Well, that's why I know. I'm trying to focus on the games piece,
Yes.
right? I want to see good games. I do want a reason to play my PS5. This would be a good time for it. While we were, sorry, I apologize. So I'm gonna full disclosure, folks. I'm winding down. It's been, I know it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've had this.
Let's go for 8 more
bizarre-
minutes.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm having a very, very hard week at work. Nothing bad. It's just meetings that have sucked the life out of me. And so I apologize. You know, I had enough energy to talk Amico because Chuck was coming on, and I was excited to show gameplay and stuff, but I am winding down a bit. So the other thing I wanted to show you was Tom Warren, who I do follow, is one of the few that I follow from a journalist perspective. There was a I didn't realize this, that PlayStation had a presentation today. Sony was holding a financial presentation with Jim Ryan and Herman Holst. And what they focused on, I grabbed those images, that there was some things that I found fairly interesting in these slides. That, let's see, here it is. So we'll start with the first one, which is they talked about their foundations for growth. So console growth, building our biggest ever
Yeah,
console.
literally.
Yes. Yes.
The next one's gonna be even bigger. Oh.
They are, you know, we always talk about the two directions that Microsoft and Sony are going. Sony is focused on growing the console. And I know that we've sort of debated and argued a little bit about Phil Spencer's vision for, you know, whether or not console is first or second. But to PlayStation, console is first and foremost. Which I think, you know, on the other side of the Sony BS, this speaks to their fan base, and it speaks to the people who don't want to game on PC and don't want to game on their phone.
Well, and also the people who don't want them to put games on PC or on phone, just console only.
Which I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, who cares?
Right. Who is that hurting?
Apparently, hurts them.
Yeah. So, but building their console is their first priority, and I think that is. And again, I just call it as I see it.
Well, and the thing is, like,
this is something that I think
the PSVR needs that console.
It does. It does.
Till they allow
Very
it to
much
also
so.
be on PC. You know? And if they decide to bring their PSVR 2 games to PC, they could.
They could. But I think this speaks to... I do think that this speaks to some folks. Hey, brother Bigblock. Bigblock, if you came in earlier, I apologize.
Yeah, I think you did. I think I
see
said
you.
welcome before, and if I didn't, I apologize. I think I did.
I do too.
If there's anybody else in the chat where I didn't say welcome to, then my apologies. Try to keep up. But...
Yeah. But this speaks to the console gamer, and I do think this is something that they are. You think this is something they're right about that I wish Microsoft did at least. We talked about this with Phil Spencer's interview. I wish this was their primary target first, with everything else coming as a expansion of. And I know that's not what they're doing, and you know, just have to live with it.
Yeah.
The second thing is expanding their portfolio, right? God of War, Horizon, Spider-Man, Destiny, Last of Us, Ghosts. What a great game Ghost of Tsushima was. MLB The Show and Uncharted. And then the third is their collaborations. The Last of Us show, the Gran Turismo movie, which actually doesn't look bad. I gotta say, it doesn't look bad. And then whatever, I don't know what, so it's perfect for PlayStation, the Bravia. Oh, yeah, I guess, that's just something else. So that was their first slide. And
it's kind of funny because
they
don't put PC or cloud in this image.
No, they don't. And that's on purpose.
No, I know.
So in their next one is their portfolio expansion.
What's the Bungie integration, Their gas expertise,
that's what
kind of stuff?
I believe that's what that is. I think that's what that is exactly, is getting their expertise. And that's why I'd be great with a SOCOM.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get that. Find out tomorrow.
IP expansion, live services, PC expansion is in the portfolio.
Yeah.
Mobile strategy and their new portfolio. So there's that.
So what's new portfolio? Cloud?
Funny you mention that. It's not in this slide.
No, I know. That's
definitely
why I'm like bringing it up.
Yeah. So PSVR 2, they do talk about the PSVR 2 having a stronger launch than the PSVR. Now, I think there's a little bit of a different market at the moment, but here's the reason I'm wondering though if we're gonna get that price cut soon. That
I mean, if not, then
those
the
two lines
blue
are
line for the original one will intersect the
That's
VR2.
what I
so
think
if you
is
do a
gonna happen.
price
They're
cut, that
about
might
to
go back up. Plus, you need a console for that, right? So you really pull people in their ecosystem, or at least have them spend money on, at least on games, if they're already part of the PlayStation ecosystem.
Yup. And more to come. Ghostbusters, Beat Saber, all that stuff. Great. Next one. All right, yeah. So, yes, now that they're available, they're selling better than they were before because, well, now they're in stock.
Yeah.
Fiscal year 2021. And by the way, not for nothing, as we were talking about the issues that Intellivision had, look at those issues that Sony had. Look at that. It was their lowest sell-through in 8 years. 8 years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Because of chip shortages and COVID and things like that. COVID did a number on everybody. Sony's just able to recover because they can now get the PlayStation out the door and so on. Yeah, I know. Dredd says, but Myke, that doesn't count.
But with this, they didn't sell any PS4s in 2020?
According to this, they did. Oh, no, they did not.
I don't think that's accurate. Because remember, we're in short supply. They still sold bundles and other stuff at the...
Maybe it didn't sell maybe it didn't sell high enough to register. So
Yeah. I don't know. All suspicious.
yeah. Sorry.
But maybe then the numbers will be higher, and then they really want to compare PS4 with PS5. That's why they probably left it out. Unless the number's in it, and they really obscure things.
Yeah. The Switch was, yep, Scepter's right. The Switch was selling because they're using mobile chips. The next one, so this didn't make people happy. Ongoing growth to be sustained by PC titles beyond fiscal year 2022.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep putting stuff out because you see that revenue.
Yeah. Doubled almost.
Yeah. So they're gonna keep putting stuff out on PC. And then their investment. So they're working on getting more capital, but look at this. PS5 investment by business model. Traditional versus live service. In this year, look at the difference and look where it's going to be by year 2025. They're moving towards games as a service.
So that 40% of 25 is almost the same size as the fiscal year 19 investment-wise. So they invest the same amount for traditional games. Make that clear.
Yep. Isn't that crazy? And I think that's the Bungie integration they're talking about.
Yeah, that's big chunk on the top.
Yep. So,
but that's an investment. That doesn't mean that's what they invest. That doesn't mean that's what they get out of it.
yeah.
You hope they do. Otherwise, it will not be sustainable, but in the long run.
So apparently Herman Hulse said there were 12 live service games in production.
Didn't they already cancel one of them? No? That's not part of it? I don't know what
could it be. So then he went on. So to answer I don't have a slide for the cloud, but Jim Ryan said the cloud will be fundamental to allow us to exploit that trend of mobility.
Yeah.
We do have some fairly interesting and quite aggressive plans to accelerate our initiatives in the space of the cloud that will unfold over the coming months. Really?
Yeah.
So
Did they call the CMA, make sure that's okay?
Yeah, I would.
Or the CMA already knew about it, and that's why they blocked the Microsoft deal, because it will be a roadblock for the PlayStation.
Yep.
So based on what PlayStation is doing, Amazon is already down there. So it's like Microsoft is even like a tiny little bit of that already.
Right.
Yep.
Hey, Marceau. He said I'm late because I'm sick. Oh, no. Feel better, brother.
Hopefully he's not sick of Outrun.
No, he's on to virtual racing. Are you kidding? Dude, he's been doing virtual racing runs now.
Man. I must have missed that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you got to hit that notification bell on Brother Marceau's channel.
Apparently.
So, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so so it seems to me, and maybe this is why they were doing the showcase tomorrow. It seems to me that they are trying to, which be a good idea. You know, we always want to talk about PlayStation stuff.
Yeah.
This is good. The first time we've had some news, some actual news. So I'm happy that we get to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, some factual
and we'll
stuff,
have
not speculation of any kind. We're talking numbers.
Well, yeah. We speculated earlier. So, and next week we'll talk about what we saw tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm curious.
And I'm hoping that it's going to be good stuff. I truly do. I honest to goodness do. I truly hope that it's going to be. So anyway, I'm sorry, guys.
All that excitement about a PS5. We're excited. Come on now.
Well, it's not. It's not. How to. Look, we want to be excited. That's just it. We tried to care. I do. Look, you guys have seen, like, all night long I've had this PS5 controller here. I talked about Gran Turismo 7. I mean, I want to be. I'm going to, trust me, Spider-Man and Starfield are going to be battling for my time. That's just how it's going to be.
Win?
I will.
The first one that has 60 FPS.
Which might be Spider-Man 2. Although it's Insomniac.
Yeah.
So they've also been, by the way, Insomniac's been just dropping hints about Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, really?
A Sunset Overdrive 2 would have my utter attention. I don't need a remaster or a remake of it. I've got it on the Xbox.
They need to get rid of the whole, let's remaster this and this and that. Like, come out with some new stuff. Jeez.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, it's, and I think part of it too, Bigblock, is I'm a gamer, so I want to see good games. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm also not critical of Sony's business practices as of late. And the things that they have said and done, and crying Jim Ryan, oh, Call of Duty, not having Call of Duty on a PlayStation will destroy us. We'll have to go out of business. I have not been a fan of. I've never been a fan of Jim Ryan. Let me put that out on the table.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of Jim Ryan. I did. Them letting Sean Layden leave was the biggest mistake. Well, the second biggest mistake to letting Jack Tretton leave. Jack Tretton was the man. I always thought the biggest coup would have been if Microsoft had gotten Jack Tretton to come over and run things, even over Phil. I think that would have been an amazing move. But I'm trying to put those business practice pieces aside right now, because at the end of the day, it's video games, and I want to play good video games. It's why I argued about Redfall. I want to play good games. I want Starfield to blow me the hell away. I want Spider-Man 2 to blow me away. That's what I want. Peter, I'm going to give you the last word on this.
Well, hopefully we get to see what you alluded to, like good games. PSVR 2 price cut. And PC drivers for the PSVR 2. If they do that, I'll get a PSVR 2. Otherwise, we'll have to wait.
All right. Yeah.
I
Like
don't
I
know.
said, I think I have to wait. I have to wait simply because. So. Yeah, I know, Bigblock. He says, I have no issue with your love of Xbox. Basically, like all systems, even Sega at times. Oh, hey, where's that block button? Let me time out Bigblock.
And we love all systems. We
No,
just love some systems
We
more
do
than
love all
others.
systems.
And that's called preferred system.
Well, I think, right. Well, mostly because Xbox is where we get together with everybody. I mean, if we all got together if everybody we knew got together on the PlayStation, we would probably be on there more. It's just where we all congregate. It just so happens that there are some excellent games there. But there happens to be excellent games on the PlayStation platform as well. You know what? One of the things I'd like to see tomorrow is a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which is another game that I platinumed and played. And remember, I played that game in black and white.
You did.
With the subtitles in
Except that one
Kurosawa
scene.
mode.
We had to find the red
Except
flowers.
that one scene where I need to find the red flowers. Yeah. Guys, the Sucker Punch. Let's try to hold off on those design choices. But, I would love to see that. So we'll see tomorrow. Anyway, give the actual last word, because you just kind of made me get the last word.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here. And hopefully
That
we
works
saw
for
some
me.
good PlayStation stuff and talk about it and analyze it some more. And maybe we will have our PSVR 2s then. The price is right.
Maybe. The price is right. Free 99 would be great.
$2.99. Remember, that's the magic. $2.99. Wasn't it?
No,
Or
I
$1.99?
said
What was the-
free. Free 99. Trade in 99 would be great. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here before you might hear me snore in a few minutes. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Believe it or not, I was pleasantly surprised. We did hold a lot of our audience tonight. So people did want to, either that or they all fell asleep.
Yeah, maybe they all left it playing. We still appreciate
They all
it.
left it playing. Yes, absolutely. They don't care. They don't care about anything but the Amico, but they held on just because. No, seriously, folks, thank you. Thank you, everybody who was also very respectful in the chat, even even in dissent. Again, we know there are people that are no longer interested in that console and unhappy with things that have gone on. But you know what? Tonight, even those who there were a couple people that I think were trolling a little bit. And sorry, guys, this is not the place for that. But I'm always grateful that you guys in the chat are always respectful here, no matter what we talk about. And that makes it worth it for us to do this show every week. So thank you, chat. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm going to say this looking into the camera. I'm looking actually over at the chat, but you guys know that we really do value you guys. We value your word. Your opinions matter on this show to us. And we just appreciate it. And thank you for being a great chat, even through, again, contentious topics that are very divisive and toxic. And hey, sometimes those topics are Xbox and PlayStation related too. It's not always just the Amicos. Believe me, it's kind of funny, Peter, that this happens with this console. We've seen some crazy things in the Xbox and PlayStation arena.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
That sometimes makes the Amico stuff look tame. So, but you guys are all great. Yep, and more tomorrow on Chuck's show. I am 50-50 to be on there. I know Chuck wants me to come on, but it's gonna depend on the wife. If anything, I may hop in there late, but yeah, definitely check out DJC tomorrow night at 9:30. Before that, we have the Backlog Bastards at 8 o'clock on 4GQ TV's station channel, and we have Go Game Go at 8 p.m. as well. And they always put on a fantastic show. They're great friends of ours, all part of the Gamers United Guild. And honestly, at this point, you guys all know what to do. Get down in that description, get on every one of those channels, click, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for them. Check out all the awesome Gamers United Guild channels that are out there. As for us, Peter, we'll be back next week at 9:30.
Yeah, we sure will be.
I got a couple people I'm going to reach out to see if they want to come on and talk about the PlayStation Showcase. I will see if I can get the return of the bra. And see if we can get PlayStation Bra to come on. And Peniac Giant, I'm going to see if I can get him. And then, onward and upward.
Sounds like a plan.
So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Peter, where can they find you?
Now you can find me, besides here at 9:30 p.m. every Tuesday. You can find me at HCK360 on Twitter, PlayStation, Steam, Uplay, and HCK on Xbox. And that's probably pretty much it.
All right. Sean, I want to say something about Sean real quick. Sean Starlight. There's no bigger advocate for the Atari VCS that I know than like Retro Rich Haywood and Sean. Sean is dying for a VCS forever. Sean DMs me stuff like, and I'm not saying this to pick on Sean. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm saying because I love this and I love Sean's kind of attitude towards the VCS because it's a forgotten console right now. Ed Boon announced Mortal Kombat. Sean came to me and said, Myke, wouldn't it be awesome if Mortal Kombat came to the Atari VCS? I'm like, Sean, it's never coming to the VCS. He's like, I know, but I'm not giving up hope that something like that could ever happen. And I love that enthusiasm. And Sean, I love what you bring to our chat. I truly do. I love what you bring. And you're a great guy. And I just, maybe, Sean, maybe you should start the VCS Forever show on your channel. Just an idea. Just an idea. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Whew. And, me, NLG Mullis, OG_NL Gaming on Twitter, and NLG Mullis on Twitter, Stinger NLG on Xbox, the original NLG on PlayStation, and nowhere on the Switch because I do not have or play the Switch.
And even if you did, you wouldn't know your numbers anyways.
I wouldn't either. Oh, I am NLG Mullis on the Atari VCS, so please add me up on there too. There are some VCS games I need to actually get off of my ass and play. So perhaps I'll pick up a couple of the VCS games that have come out recently and maybe do one of my Thursday night streams. So, anyway, good night, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you streaming this weekend or this week. Pick up a controller, get some gaming in. I will be continuing to pick up my Amico controller.
Getting
it into the hands of Peter. John Alvarado, I will tape an overlay to and good night, everybody. Play on, gamers.